Can you pay my telephone bills? I don't think you. So you and me are through, baby, baby. Okay, what's up, everybody? How you doing? I hope you've had a lovely, lovely week. It's your host, Nyasha, and welcome back to another episode of Rap a Taste. Taste, taste. Can I get a taste? Taste, taste. Can I get a? Before we get into it, just make sure you do your girl a little favor, okay? Make sure you hit the notification button, okay? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And with that further ado, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so boom. I'm gonna tell you what's been going on with me, girl, boy, everybody. Everybody's included, and I'm gonna tell you what's been going on with me. In the house that I live in, there's a housekeeper that comes here. She cleans the house every Friday. Okay, so she'll come, she'll do the bathrooms, the kitchen, the living room, and all the other rooms. Okay, but yeah, when I'm not here, she'll just clean my room and she does her thing. She leaves, right? And then when I am here, she'll still do the same thing. She'll just do her thing, even if I'm sleeping, right? She'll just come vacuum, and then clean my floors, change the garbage, and stuff like that. Tell me why I'm about to move out of this house. Literally, like literally, it's my last week. This is when this lady now decides, like, so she came in. I honestly, you know what? I honestly feel like she was just tired and she decided to skip my room on purpose because she came in, she saw that I was sleeping. She just changed the garbage and then she didn't vacuum, she didn't clean the floor, she didn't do anything and then she left. But before she left, I really like I could hear her in all the other rooms and cleaning everything else. So I was just like, that's bizarre because I heard her change the garbage, but she didn't do anything else. So I was like, maybe something is wrong here. So that's when I now got out of my literally got out like a warrior. Like I was running and I because I could now hear like this girl's actually leaving. So I said, what the hell? What actually is this? What is going on? So then I got into my clothes. And then I ran before I literally she was about to disappear into thin air. And then I caught her and I was like, hey, hey, checking. I was just like,
Madeline, Madeline.
she's like, yeah. And I was like, is there a reason you didn't? I know it sounds a little like, Nyasha, what the hell? Who do you think you are? Who died and made you queen? Queen. Who died and made you queen? Me. So I was just like, is there a reason why you didn't clean my room this today? Right? And she was like, oh, I got in and I saw that you were sleeping, so I didn't want to make noise for you. And I didn't want to wake you up. And I said, I literally was thinking to myself, I know you're lying and you tried it. I swear to God, Madeline tried it because I was just like, of course. Like, and this is the one week where I actually, okay, so don't get it twisted. I know how to clean my own stuff. I know how to clean my own room. I know how to take care of my own stuff. Then you're asking, so Nyasha, what's even the problem? What's the point of this whole? I'll tell you what the problem is. My thing is, I would rather she would have just told me flat out.
You know what? I was tired. I decided to skip your room because I was tired.
I would totally understand that, but don't come to me trying to act like you're trying to be my savior in the guise of not trying to keep me from my slumber. But the truth is, you just didn't want to clean my room because this is not the first time she's cleaned my room. She's been cleaning this house the whole year. Ever since I moved here, she's been cleaning this house without. This is also why I can let it go a little bit and like without fail every Friday. The few times that she's like taken a vacation or whatever, she's done it on a Saturday or left somebody else, but that's only been like for 2 weeks. That only happened like maybe two, three times, right? So I was just like, it's not making sense because this is not the first time you've ever come to the house and cleaned the house and I'm sleeping in my room. So Why did I do that at? I was so confused. So she says to me, this is where I was like, stop. I was just like, Madeline, stop before I cut your lights out right now. She was like,
Do you want me to come back and clean it?
and I'm like, girl, you knew it. It's a little too late now. Like, really? Am I now gonna be the one to be like, I can see she's wearing her headphones, she's wearing her going out clothes, all of her equipment is packed with her. She's literally leaving at this point. And I should have done that just to be like, you got paid to clean, didn't you? Do what you came to do. I should have been like,
Actually, Madeline, if you don't mind.
because she had the audacity to ask me like, do you want me to come back? And I was like, girl, you know you're getting away with this and you love it, don't you? Like, girl, you knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. So I was just like, this is actually crazy. Like, why? And I was saying the only really, really real reason I was a little bit pissed off because she was leaving with the vacuum with her because she cleans other places too. There's no vacuum here. When she's not here, there's no vacuum here, right? So remember when I recorded that episode and I told you that there were shards of glass everywhere because I dropped my mirror and it broke and it just splish splosh sploosh all over my room. So I needed that vacuum to get those pieces. There's still pieces of glass all around my room and I've been like tiptoeing all around because I don't wear shoes in here to keep the floors clean. And then now she just had to go and inconvenience me with this whole what am a hootie blooty blooty blue. I'm just no, I can't. It's actually not happening. I'm just like it's not happening. So yeah, a little glad that I'm gonna be out of this place so that I can deal with my own stuff because people be acting a little shady, a little weird. Okay. But yeah, today actually after recording this video, I am going to book my flight and I am going to go back home because cha I miss home. I miss family. I miss food. 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 Capital F. But yeah, I miss I've been seeing so much like I don't know, like hate and stuff like that towards other people on the internet and I'm like sometimes I'll just like see like something really funny, like a funny reel or whatever, open it and then you go to the comment section because the comments that's where it's at. Really, really, really like the world is literally the funniest thing you could ever see. Like how people's brains are working, the way people word things funny to me. So I go in the comments and sometimes it's just like it's a harmless funny video and then there's always somebody's barbaric child. You know what I'm saying? There's always someone ready to like bring the whole thing to the ground and it's just like it's not even that deep and calm down because it's crazy to me. It's just like you're not supposed to be this worked up over such little stuff. Like whatever has been posted today, it won't even affect you tomorrow. So I don't understand why you're making it's not that deep, why you're making it such a big deal. And sometimes I just want to reply to someone like, oh my God, shut up. No, literally, shut up. Like, what are you doing? But then it doesn't help because that just makes me part of the problem. And it's just like if we all think like that and then the world would never be a better place. So I just see it and I literally want to smack my head into the wall. But that's that and then a little something something, right? Okay, so before I actually as I was getting ready for this episode, right, a friend of mine, she texted me. She was like, girl, you will not believe what happened to me. And I was like, what's the skinny? Tell me. She's like, so I, I don't even want to say I used to have a friend because I use that term very, very loosely when I'm talking about this person, but we're gonna call her Mitchell, right? So Mitchell and I, we're like cordial or whatever. I know Mitchell considered me to be their friend, but I always knew there was something a little off. But it's one of those things where like, you know, when like people don't like a certain person and you're kind of just like, well, this certain person has never done anything bad to me, so I really don't have like any reason to just like rule them out, you know? And for the most part, they actually are nice to me. And then Yeah. And then there's just like little things that are like, maybe this is a red flag, but I'm like, maybe this is orange. It's not really red yet, you know? So there's oranges, 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 right? But then in the midst of the orange, Mitchell says, hey, like, would you like to come to my house for a sleepover? We can do a sleepover, we could go do dinner, we could dress up and da da da, which I love because I love going out and dressing up and looking cool and fresh and fine and slicky, slicky, slick, sexy, all of that stuff, right? So I'm like, cool, and I love hanging out. I like to do fun stuff. So I'm like, cool, why not, right? Okay, boom. We decide to do that. Everything's fine, everything's good. And then we go for dinner with my people for real that I go out with that know me. Whatever they pick, whatever I pick, we always split the bill 50-50. It literally doesn't matter what you had, what I had. We always do a 50-50. It's nice. I think it's cool, nice, casual, friendly. Other people may not think so. It's to be honest, it's only the chintzy kitschy, stingy people who think like that, right? So boom. I'm like, I proposed this. I was like, I usually do this with my friends. I don't know how you feel about that. She was like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. I've actually never done that with my friends or whatever the hell, right? So let's do that. Then we did that. So we split this meal 50-50. And then we remembered,
Oh my days. We need to tip the person.
right? So at this point, like we've already done the transaction, da, da, da. And she's like, oh, okay, I've got cash on me. So boom. So I paid for the entire bill. Whenever we're ready, we can discuss like splitting the bill, whatever. But I've already done this transaction. And then she's like, oh my days, okay, I think I have X amount of cash. So then she puts the cash in and then she pays for the tip in full. Are you following? I've paid for I've paid for the meal in full, then she pays the tip in full. Now, this is where it gets a little hectic, right? So we go to her place, we have a good time. The next day, she worked, I work. However, your girl, because I'm too popular with I had been invited to like there was like a hot tub barbecue, the backyard chilling bonfire thing going on. So I was invited to that by somebody else. But this somebody else wasn't particularly friends with this person because they didn't like this person. They hated this person, so they didn't invite her. So I feel like she thought that I was going home straight. This is all from my perspective, by the way. So I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So she thought that she was just gonna drop me off at home and then I would be at home. Like, girl, no. Who do you think I am? Like, I got things to do, I got places to be. So we get to work. I'm now transferring my luggage into another person's car who's supposed to drive with me because me and this girl, we'll call her Busty. Me and Busty me and Busty was supposed to go to this bonfire thing, so I had to put my bags in Busty's car. So now when I'm saying, oh, can I have the key so I can get my stuff, da da da, this girl, tell me what this girl tried to embarrass me in front of everybody, talking about some.
Bring back the keys to my car.
I said,
I said, first of all, this is crazy.
because if I wanted to buy the exact same car that you have right now, I literally could do the exact same thing. Like, it's not that deep. I don't understand. Like, and this was what made me really upset is like people try to downplay you like you ain't just because you're making different moves. All along, I knew that I wanted to end up in the city. So the money that I could have invested into a car, I invested that into coming to the city. And if I had never come to the city, then I never would have had this podcast. Okay, what's really good? Okay. But at the time, Shawty looking at me like, I don't know, maybe like,
Like, you a bum because you ain't got no car.
or whatever the hell was going through her noggin. Cool. So she tries to embarrass me or whatever. I'm not about that drama. And also, I'm just like,
Put your money where your mouth is.
okay, you're gonna talk that talk, but once I Molly whop your ass up in this building, then I'm the one who's gonna get fired. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not even about that violence like that. But yeah, I was just like, it's whatever. Like these are the little orange flags, but they're really, really, really turning mahogany. they're turning burgundy about now, right about now. So yeah, that happened, and I was just like, oh, whatever. I'm going to another party. I'm gonna have fun. We move. We absolutely freaking move. So now it became a problem. Now she now had to pay me back the money that I had, uh, the money that I had spent on the dinner. And now that's where the problem was. So like it's been like, I think it was like maybe like 2 3 days or something like that. Forgive like the fogginess of the story a little bit, because it did happen like a year ago, and I actually almost forgot about, I had forgotten about this until my friend texted me and told me like there's something up, right? Long story short, there was problems with the transaction, and then now when I had asked for my piece, it's now a problem. She's not responding or whatever, and I'm like, cool, it's whatever. I'm still gonna meet you at work because we work together, so it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, besides, maybe she's doing other stuff, other stuff, da da da, right? So now I get to work and I see Shadi, and Shadi trying to act like she don't see me, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, that's your business, but you know I'm in the building. You know the kid is in the building. You better act like you know what the hell is going on. And when it's time for me to ask for what I am owed, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, literally. So now she had been acting weird, and then now I had gotten to a point where like I had tried to talk to her, and she tried to like do me grizzly, do me grimy. And then this is now when I got upset. I'm very nonchalant, very cool, calm, and collected, but it's just like, you're not gonna try to make me like make me look like I'm bothering you when you're actually the one who's the problem here, you know? So now I actually asked the manager, and I was like, hey, can you, I know Mitchell is working in such and such a section. Can you go call her and ask her that I want to talk to her about this? And then she came back and
She said she's busy.
this is when I really got for real, because I was like, there's no freaking way. You saw me, you ignored me, I let you slide. 2 days, I gave you time, I let you do your thing. And now I'm trying to talk to you nicely, and now you're doing this. This is when I really got pissed, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna show you that I actually don't care what the hell is going on.
Oh, yeah, we can take it there.
We can take there. Like,
I'm not the type to want to make a scene.
but it's like, if it's, everybody has their breaking point, you know what I'm saying? It was really upsetting me because there's just a lot of things going on at once. So she caught me she caught me at the wrong time. I feel like any other day, if she was acting like this, I would have let it cha-cha slide. But this day I was like, you've actually got to be stupid, you've actually got to be kidding me. So that's when I went to her and I said, run me my money or run me my rounds. Like, well, what's going on? She's like, oh,
Can't you see I'm with a customer?
and I said,
I don't give a
looking back at this, looking back in retrospect, I'm like, Yasha, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Well, actually, when the customer was there, I waited for her to finish with the customer that she had, and before the next one came, that's when I started talking to her, and then she tried to be like, and I was like, no, I will beat your ass. I'm joking. And then I was like, no, it's happening now. I want my dubs. Give me my guala before I get upset. So now I started saying like,
I don't care. Let's go.
right? And then we went to the back where like it was a little more secluded, more private, and I was like, I literally don't understand. Like, we were cool, we went out, we did this, we did our thing. All of a sudden you're acting like this. Like, I don't understand. I actually will slap you and the that you're trying to act like right now. Okay, I'm so aggressive with the context, but I'm actually not violent like that for real. Like, I would never like fight somebody. What? It's so tacky. Like, what? I would actually like, what? You want me to fight you? That's crazy. You want me to mess up your hair? You don't have respect for yourself. That's crazy.
I respect myself too much to be putting my paws on you, ma'am.
So I was just like, I'm literally so confused because everything was fine, and now it seems like there's a problem. So what is the problem? Like, because I kept on asking her, like, what is the problem? So what is, I started off like, okay, so I don't understand, because what is the problem? And then she tried to tell me there's no problem. And I was like, okay, obviously it doesn't make sense that you're telling me that there's no problem when there actually physically is a problem. Because if there hadn't been a problem, if there hadn't been a problem, then we wouldn't be in this situation that we're in right now. So tell me what the problem is. So I started saying,
What is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem?
and I literally was like, I don't understand. Like, what is the problem? What's the right? And I just kept on saying this, like, what was the reason?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the
I had a
reason?
reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What
he's
was
like,
the reason?
What was the reason? I literally was like that. But yeah, so first of all, everybody's like so shocked because they've never seen me like this. So like this one manager, he came, he's like, whoa, what is going on? Like Nyasha, what's going on? And I was like, oh, that's exactly like you're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to figure out too. So let's find out what's going on. And I literally was so confused because I literally didn't know what the problem was. I literally didn't know. It's this is something that I only found out a little bit later, right? So boom. I'm like, what is the problem? What's the problem? She's like, oh, let me just, she said to me,
You need to understand that I have a life and I have other things to attend to.
and that's when I was like, I think this is when I started to shout, and I was like,
You're the only one with things to do? You're the only one with things to do.
she tried to make me seem like, oh, like I just came out of nowhere. And I'm like, this is why I texted you. Prior to this, I texted you. You didn't respond to me, by the way. Like, I gave you the chance to sort out whatever you're doing. And I was respecting the fact that you actually do have things to do. That's why I didn't text you over and over and over and say, where's my shmoney at? Where's my shmoney at? Right? I was trying to be nice. But now you're acting like I'm inconveniencing you. Da, da, da. Just give me my shmoney, bro. So I can bounce up out of here. Right? So she sent me. And then, and then I left. So tell me why a couple days later I'm coming back into work. I'm being pulled to the side by one of the managers there, and he was like,
Tell me what happened with the incident.
then I told him,
This is what happened.
I should have known. Like Tupac, when he was put into when he was going to court, I could already tell that I was going to jail because you didn't even look at me once in the face when you were talking to me. So I already knew. Everybody else was going to be on her side. It's only after I had explained my story and my manager like spoke to me in some type of way that just made me feel like you really didn't even want to listen to my side of the story because you heard hers first. And to make it worse, this is what I was told now. Okay, wait, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. To make it worse, you've already chosen your side, so I'm just telling you this, but you really don't care what I think. You don't care about my opinion. But he basically had said to me, like, at the end of the day, that was like an outside situation. You guys go outside of work, and if it's not a work situation, don't bring it into the workplace. So I was like, cool. And then I apologized, and I was like,
Honestly, I didn't mean for it to go that way, but this is what was happening, and this is where it went, unfortunately.
but I'm sorry about it. So he said, cool, this is gonna be like, this is a verbal warning. That's what he said to me. And I was like, Steve, if you don't sit your ass down. Joking. Let's say this person's name was Steve. Let's say his name was Joey. I was like,
Joey, if you don't sit your ass down.
but yeah, so cool. So I start to do my work, everything nice, everything good, everything fresh, right? And then my friend, the one that's telling me about this story now, had come to me, and she came to me, but she was like being weird about it, and she was being like hesitant, and I was like, well, what is going on here? Like, she was asking me like, hi, are you okay? How are you feeling? And I could see like she was like treading lightly, walking on eggshells, and I said, what is actually going on? What actually is this? And she's like, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna cry. And I was like, cry? Baby, I'm a G. What? I'm a real thug for real. Who's shedding tears for what? No. What? What? Cry? Ma'am. You must be mistaken. I'm a gangster for real. I'm a gangster for real. You must not know me like that. Like, what? Cry for what? These are denim tears. I'm sexy dancing in the house. I feel like Britney Spears. Cry for what? These are denim tears. Are you kidding me? That is actually crazy to me. So yeah, she's like, yeah, obviously with what happened with Mitchell, da, 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 everybody's been talking about it and whoopty whoopty woo. So it's like, okay, why would I be crying? And then she explains to me how Mitchell had told the rest of the company, quote unquote, what had happened. But what had happened was I now told my friend and I was like, listen.
This is what happened. We went out, this, da.
And then my friend is like, obviously, because I knew that you would never act like that. I knew that when I heard her story, there was just something wrong about it. So that's why I had to come to you, a G, and ask you how it really went down. And this is what she said, quote unquote. She said, homegirl must have not wanted to pay the bill. And I was like, well, I don't know what was going on there, but I literally I'm so confused because everything was fine until it wasn't. So she's like, oh, didn't you hear? And I was like, obviously not. Tell me, what is it? And she's like, she told everybody, she said, I wanted her to pay for everything. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And I literally was not understanding, like, what? Make it make sense. No, literally make it make sense. It wasn't making sense to me. And yeah, so that's what happened. And I was like, okay, now it makes sense why she was so upset about it, because she felt like I was trying to she felt like I was trying to duet the system. Like I was trying to finesse her, and it was like, baby, I'm not even on that. Like, what? That is so crazy. You know, when you start to see like the person that you thought was an okay person the whole time, and then they really show you their true colors, you're like, wow, you're actually
It's a sickness. You're insane.
like, what? I would never do that. Why would I try to duet you out of, like, what? What? Are you kidding me? Like that's so lame. Like I've got my own money. Why would what? Girls, I swear to God. So now I hear that, and then to top it off, she was trying to, when she was like telling people her side of the story, she started to make me sound like I was being like violent with her. Like she said like, oh, Nyasha started shouting at me and yelling at me, and she started throwing hangers all over the place. And I said, girl, if I would have picked up a hanger that would have put you that would have put you in the hospital for real. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, for real, she actually did say that. She was like,
Nyasha started throwing hangers.
and I was like, when I didn't even touch anything. I didn't even touch anything. I didn't touch you. I didn't touch anything. Like, that is so crazy.
It's a sickness. You're insane.
And then to top it off, just like the crying made everybody, like literally everybody from all the managers that heard about the story, all the people, my workmates or whatever, at least the ones that believed the lies that were coming out of this temptress, this Jezebel. The people that didn't believe me, like everybody else was just like, oh my days. And you know, people are always waiting for you to like fall, right? They always have something to say and stuff like that. Wooty wooty woo. So everybody who had bad stuff to say about me, who didn't like me for whatever reason that I literally do not understand, started to talk bad about me. And that's when I came in and I started canceling people out. No, literally, when I say after that, I was like, you're actually crazy, because I'm gonna cancel Christmas on all of you from now on. For real, for real, for real. Like literally, I'm sending you to meet your maker before it's your time. No, like I just cut so many people off. And I was just like, oh, I'm glad this happened to me, because now I see like who really is my friend and who isn't. And trust me, like I'm not that type of person. Like really, I don't have the time nor the energy like to go and like try to redeem myself.
My honor, my throne, my country. I'm about to lose them all.
Try to redeem myself.
You need to regain your honor. Redeem your honor. Unquestionable honor?
To go and like try to redeem myself and be like, oh, she's lying. Oh, she's this, oh, she's that. So whoever wanted to think whatever they wanted to think about me, I just left them with that. But it's really not, it's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. So now this is why I'm talking about the story now. She texted me. She said,
Oh my days, you would not believe what happened to me.
I said, tell me the skinny. And the skinny is this exact same thing happened to her. And I actually haven't read all the messages because all I could hear was bing, 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 bing. But yeah, I had to come and start recording this episode for you guys. So I'll have to finish this episode and then read the messages and stuff, but she basically said like, and now I start to ask for my shmoney, and she's trying to finesse me out of my bag. And I was like, oh wow, I'm screaming. That's actually crazy. But she then texted, she was like, I should have known from your incident. And I was like, yeah, goddamn right. Damn Skippy, like what? Once a snake, always a snake. She gonna bite you. She gonna bite you. She bit me already. Nah, I wasn't bit, to be honest. Because my thing is, when she was trying to act out of pocket, act out of line, I had to really show her like, baby, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. You're not gonna stand there and try to disrespect me. You already disrespected me, and I let that shit slide. I let that shit just slide. We're not doing that. I made her cry, and I got justice. But not to say that I'm proud of it, but yeah, I had to put somebody in their place. So boom. So now my friend is going through this, and I'm just like, wow, people are unbelievable. But yeah, I'm glad I don't think I've ever done like a story time on here, so I'm glad I told you about that. And yeah, we're gonna hop into this week's song of the week. Is one of my favorite songs, top 5 dead or alive. Okay, okay. So originally this song was composed or published, whatever you want to say, in 1938. Okay, music is by Sammy Fain, and then the lyrics by, I want to say, Irving Cow. My particular version of the song came out in 1944, and the cover, or this song, was redone by the one and the only Billie Holiday. Yay! Confetti! Yay! Confetti! Billie Holiday, and this song is called I'll Be Seeing You. It falls under the jazzy jazz genre. Billie Holiday was an American jazz and swing music singer, nicknamed Lady Day by her friend and music partner Lester Young. Billie made a significant contribution to jazz music and pop singing. Her vocal style, strongly influenced by jazz instrumentals, inspired a new way of manipulating phrasing and tempo. Billie was born April 7th, 1915, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States. It's the Billy one for me. It's the Billy goat, the goat's here. It's the Billy one for me. And the lyrics go a little bit like this: I'll be seeing you in all the old familiar places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon. But I'll be seeing you. When I tell you I love this song, I literally mean I'm obsessed. Like, I love this song. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's just like, I love jazz. It's just like, it's soothing, it's calm, it's romantic. Every time this song comes on my playlist, I cannot for the life of me skip it. I just have to see the whole thing play out, and it just makes me imagine. Like, sometimes I just feel like they don't make music like this for real. I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Doo-doo. It's absolutely amazing. Okay? Okay. So, I am going to move on to the next segment, and this is a segment where I read a poem that I have written for you. Give Up the Ghost. Okay. Okay, so let me give you a little background story. Give Up the Ghost comes from something that something that my dad said to me. I think this was last year. I don't know, we were having a conversation, and then he was talking, and he said, yeah, because this person needs to give up the ghost. And I started laughing. Like, when I tell you I was screaming, I literally was screaming. I was like, give up the, what does that mean? And obviously, like, at the time when he said it and in the context, like the way he used it, I knew what that meant, but I was like, literally, what is this phrase? And I thought he came up with that, so that was so hilarious to me. I was like, what the hell is that? But he was like, what, you don't know this, the saying, give up the ghost? And I was like, what does that even mean for real? He was like, yeah, when it's time for you to go. Like, when it's time for you to kick the bucket, literally. So I loved this. I just love that. So I was just like, I'm gonna write a poem called Give Up the Ghost. I wrote this on the 19th of January 2022. Give Up the Ghost. Everybody dies sometime. We don't know the reason why. Suddenly sinking in the dirt so nobody hears you cry. If death is a tale as old as time, then I suppose I'll accept to go, because I know there is no tossing and turning when I am pushing daisies 6 feet below. All my memories have suddenly turned to dust. I know it's because I followed the people I couldn't trust. So to my surprise, I'm old and withered. I see my ghost across the river. Its soggy face and empty heart will bury me when I depart. And when it's time, do not despair. We knew we would all end up here. Don't resist and don't make a sound. It's not allowed, so settle down. You can't reschedule, there is no choice. Follow the light and listen to the voice. So please remember, nobody can save you. Might as well be ready for your debut. And when you get scared, remember this. Close your eyes and turn to bliss. For many have gone before you still. There is no one made of stone and steel. As winter is true as the ocean turns to frost, no one can deny when it's time to give up the ghost. Andale, 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 andale. So yeah, that's a poem that I wrote. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think about that. And without further ado, doobie 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 doo 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 doo. Meet Joe Black. Okay, Meet Joe Black is a romance fantasy that is 3 hours long, 3 hours and a minute to be exact. It stars Brad Pitt, Claire Forlani, and Anthony Hopkins. Susan Parrish, her dad is Anthony Hopkins, a very rich guy. And then Brad Pitt is just a young guy that is handsome and is attracted to Susan, even though she has a boyfriend. So they go into this coffee shop, and obviously they get a coffee. And he's like really macking on her, and she's trying to be like, "Oh,"
Stop.
but she likes it, so she's not saying stop. And then something happens to him, and then his character disappears. So then she now meets somebody with the same face. It's him, but it's not him. I'm trying to say this without spoiling it for you. It's him, but it's not him. And this character is called Joe Black. And first of all, Anthony Hopkins thinks he's losing his noggin because he can hear this voice. He keeps talking to him throughout like the day, and he has no idea what the hell is going on. So he thinks like he's being pranked. He thinks this, he thinks that. But he's hearing the voice of Joe this whole time. And basically, Joe is actually death. Like literally, till death do us part. Yeah, except death came back in Brad Pitt's body. I know. I literally know. So yeah, obviously the demeanor has changed or whatever. Death just is wearing Brad Pitt's meat suit at this point, and he's coming back and he's introduced himself as Joe Black, and she's just like so perplexed, like this is not the same person that I met in the coffee shop. Like who the hell are you, right? But yeah, Death is just like, well, I'm on vacation and I've come to collect, which is your pappy over here. He's knocking on my door, so I've come to answer. One of my favorite parts is there's this one part when Death goes to a hospital. Obvious, so inappropriate. Death goes to a hospital, and this old lady, she sees him, and she knows, how like old people know, and she could feel it, and she knew. She was like, oh yeah. She's just like, oh yeah, and he's like, no, everything gonna be airy. This lady is like a Jamaican lady, and she's like, oh, bad man. It's basically like this bad man's come to collect me, and he's like, no, I'm on holiday, and she's like, oh, but take me with you, because she's in pain, because I think she had like she was sick. She was really sick, and all her joints and all that were like, like sore, and she was in pain. So she basically, like, my thing is like, people can never be satisfied, because when she saw him, she literally was hanging on to dear life. She was just like, oh, I'm gonna die, you've come to take me. She was complaining in that same scene. I'm sorry, but in that exact same scene, she's the same person. She's the same person who starts complaining about not wanting to go, and I was like, baby, give up the ghost. Literally. Literally give up the ghost, because she said like, oh, like, you've come to take me, and she's scared, right? And then she's talking about take me, and he's like, isn't that same scene? Yeah, exactly. Because she was like, take me, I'm ready to go. And then basically Dead was like, it's not your time yet. Like, relax, baby. You still got a little bit to go. And she's like, oh, take me because I can't bear this pain. Da 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 da. And I'm just like, girl, first of all, you're confused. Do you want to stay? Or do you want to go? Do you want to leave or you want to stay? Like, what is going on? But this little tug of war that we're doing here, if you want to die, you need to be like certain as death. Literally, you need to be as certain as death, because what, like, 1 minute you want to go, 1 minute you don't. Like, you can't please people. You can't please you. People will never be pleased, even in boy, it's crazy. So basically, he's falling in love with Anthony Hopkins' daughter. And Anthony Hopkins' daughter, not Anthony Hopkins, but the guy who's playing the guy who's playing Anthony Hopkins, that guy. That guy. At this point, Death has become Mr. Hopkins' left eye. Literally, they're glued to the hip. They go together to business meetings. He would just pop up and just be like, my thing is like, why was Anthony Hopkins so worried about his business? Like, you're literally you're at the precipice of death. Like, quite literally, doesn't get any literal than that, and he still was worried about like his company and what's gonna happen to this, and I'm just like, he was talking about some
When a man builds a business or whatever, he wants that business to be run the exact same way he built it.
I was just thinking, like, this is the craziest thing I've heard on television, because what are you actually talking about? Even Death was like looking at him like, you best settle down there, buddy, before you give yourself a heart attack, and I might have to collect you right now, because you could miss Christmas right now. We could cancel Christmas right now. It's so crazy. But yeah, there's that. And then I think one of my favorites is just like the character, this Suzanne girl. She's like so fragile. She's like, sorry, pause. She also has this sister, right? And her sister is this lady that's in this movie. I can't think of the name of the movie right now at this very moment, but I will never not be able. You know when someone plays a role so well, and you're never gonna be able to unsee them, no matter what new movie they do, you're never gonna be able to unsee them in that role that they did. The sister, I've seen her be a crazy lady. She literally was like the epitome of a Karen to the tippity tippity top, but like a religious freak. Like she was all about her sky daddy and all of that. She was crazy. And they were stuck with her in a shop and she was crazy. So I could not, for the life of me, stop seeing that particular character in this woman, which is so weird because she was such a sweet, nice lady in this movie. But yeah, this Susan is just like, she's so soft spoken and she's just like, she doesn't yell. Her voice is just like, I was like, this girl is too precious for this world. She's like, Joe. I got it, I got it. She's like, Joe. So tell me something, Joe. Are you married? This girl asked, she asked this. She said, are you married? She said, are you married? He said, mm-mm. She said, you have a girlfriend? He said, mm-mm. She said, gay? I can't. And he said, mm-mm. So tell me why somebody as handsome as you, I'm now paraphrasing. I'm now paraphrasing because I don't know word for word, but she basically was asking him like, why is somebody as scramdelidiosos like you single? Like, what? There must be something that you're hiding. Let me know all your secrets. Give me all your money and give me all your residuals. Okay. So basically, she was just saying, like, I just don't understand why somebody as good looking as you is single. But yeah, she's she's so soft spoken. Wow, the alliteration there is deadly. She's so soft spoken, it's ridiculous, and I can't do it any justice. You have to see it for yourself. Then there's this one time, when Susan and her boyfriend got into a fight, and then the boyfriend leaves, and then she turns around and Joe is there standing like the freaking the freaking Texas Ranger. He's standing like someone who just came out of the Wild Wild West. Like I don't know why he was standing like that, but you have to see this. You have to see this part. I was like, really? Why did they have to make him stand like that? That was so weird. But yeah, it's those random parts where something is not even funny that I'm like cracking up because I'm picturing something that obviously they didn't see when they recorded that movie. But in all seriousness, this is me deducing the movie to nothing. No, in all seriousness, I really like this one and I highly recommend it. I will give it a 8.5. 8.5. Yeah, solid 8.5. It's clean. It's good. It's amazing. This week's album of the week is Nothing.
What? Who said that? Who said that?
I'm joking. It's not an album per se, or it's actually not an album at all, but it's as long as an album. So this week I actually want to talk about Lo-Fi Girl. I discovered this one time when I was in film school. My teacher, we were doing like kind of like yoga exercises, just like a little warm up, to before we get into the vigorous activities of the day. So then when we're doing like our little exercise, I think we do that for like maybe like 15-20 minutes, and she had just put on this music on the screen or whatever. Shout out Chloe, by the way, she's a sweetheart. Chloe put this on the TV or whatever, and it was playing, and I was like, and it was like vibey, and I was like, what? I had to stop, and I was like, I'm sorry, Chloe, what are you playing right now? And she's like, "Oh, it's just called it's lo-fi music." And I was like, "What the hell is lo-fi?" She gave me that, and I couldn't wait for the class to finish because I just had to go and find out who the hell this girl was. So it's just like it's chill, it's nice, it's calm, it's relaxing, and it's good for a lot of things. Like it's got like study sessions. It's just like relax, study, get comfy, get cozy, and it's just good. It's just like chill vibes, chill beats. You want to study, you want to be calm, you want to be relaxed, all of that. Okay, lo-fi girl is the girl for you. But yeah, lo-fi music is it's the way, boy. It's the way. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I've definitely enjoyed talking to you. I will see you next week. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. I salute you. Thank you so much for chilling with me. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time. Don't forget to give up the ghost when it's time. I'm just kidding. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Namaste. 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 Namaste.